When it comes to high-stakes fashion moments, few environments are as scrutinizing, unforgiving, and trend-setting as Paris Fashion Week. As one of the most influential fashion events in the world, it brings together top designers, supermodels, celebrities, editors, and photographers in a whirlwind of artistry and spectacle. And in that constellation of glamour and style stood Emily Ratajkowski, the American model and style icon known for her confidence, evolving sartorial taste, and fearless red carpet presence. But on this particular day in Paris, Ratajkowski's fashion story wasn't just about elegance. It was about composure under pressure, mastery of personal style, and how a moment that could have become a crisis instead became a testament to her professionalism and fashion acumen. Arrival at Paris Fashion Week. Setting the stage. Paris Fashion Week is more than a few days of runway shows. It is a global celebration of fashion's past, present, and future. Designers debut collections that set seasonal trends. Front rows pack with industry elite and celebrities. Street-style photographers hunt for standout looks. And fans around the world follow every trend, outfit, and misstep. For Ratajkowski, whose career spans modeling, acting, entrepreneurship, writing, and activism, the event carried particular weight. She had recently made notable appearances across Europe's major fashion capitals. She walked a prestigious runway for Gucci in Milan, where she stunned in a silver, figure-skimming mini dress, shared daring behind-the-scenes photos on social media, and generally kept her presence in the fashion world at a high volume leading into Paris. But Paris, perhaps more than Milan or New York, demands something more. A performance that balances beauty, boldness, and an effortless sense of control. The outfit, avant-garde couture meets practical risk. On the day of her appearance at the Christian Dior Women's Fall-Winter 2026 show, Ratajkowski chose a look that embodied both architectural design and the classic Parisian elegance of black and white minimalism. Her outfit comprised a white silk wrap top designed to be dramatic and modern, a piece with substantial fabric drape, avant-garde construction, and oversized knots that tied around the hips, leaving her back mostly exposed. She paired this daring top with simple black tailored pants, slim black sunglasses, and a black clutch, accessories that grounded the look and provided a structured contrast to the fluidity of the silk. Anyone with even a modest fashion background would recognize that such a top, at once breathtaking and structurally delicate, carried inherent risk. Pieces like these are beloved by designers for their sculptural qualities, yet they sit on the brink between mastery and mishap when worn on real bodies. And when Ratajkowski stepped into the Tuileries garden outside the Dior show, that risk became tangibly real. The wardrobe malfunction. A moment of truth. As cameras flashed and photographers documented every angle, one of the oversized knots on Ratajkowski's top began to loosen. In a split-second fashion moment that could have easily disrupted her confidence, or become fodder for social media mockery, she displayed a poised reaction that has since become the defining image of her Paris Fashion Week presence. Without hesitation, Ratajkowski simply reached down and retied the knot, instantly stabilizing the top and returning her attention to the photographers, her stride, and her presence as though nothing had happened. The ease of the gesture, a minor adjustment executed with grace and self-assurance, spoke volumes about her experience on fashion's biggest stages. Later the same day, as she walked down Rue de Rivoli, a boulevard that winds through the heart of Paris and is frequently captured by street-style photographers, another section of her top briefly came loose. But even in this second, unexpected fashion hiccup, Ratajkowski maintained her composure. A passerby noticed the dislodged piece, retrieved it, and handed it back to her, all while she continued walking with confidence and rhythm, as though navigating an everyday catwalk. Why her response resonated. It would be an oversimplification to call what happened a mere wardrobe malfunction. What unfolded was a moment of real pressure at a world event, on a global stage, under the watchful eyes of photographers, designers, reporters, and fashion enthusiasts. That she handled the moment without panic or embarrassment speaks not only to her professionalism as a model but also to a deeper understanding of fashion as an art form that includes unpredictability. Ratajkowski's response, unshaken, fluid, and absorbed into her overall presence, became a symbolic fashion statement itself. Risk is inevitable when pushing style boundaries, but elegance under pressure is what defines a true fashion moment. The broader narrative, from model to style authority. This wasn't Ratajkowski's first time being talked about in the context of fashion risk and statement-making. Earlier in the season at Milan Fashion Week, she walked in a Gucci show where she donned a shimmering mini dress that balanced sequins and silhouette for maximum visual impact. She followed that with bold posts on social media that included revealing self-tanner application photos, all of which fueled conversation about confidence, body image, and the role of external expectation in fashion. Her recent engagements, whether on the runway or in the front row, reflect a broader career trajectory. She has transitioned from high-fashion runways to invitations from major houses like Dior, not merely as a model but as a recognized figure whose presence enhances the cultural cachet of a show. Where once she walked the catwalk for major designers, she now sits, front row, as a fashion influencer in her own right, balancing classic elegance with the occasional daring twist. Fashion Week culture and the art of the moment. Fashion Week is an ecosystem where artistic risks, daring outfits, and unexpected moments are not just tolerated, they are celebrated. Photographers line the walkways and garden paths, looking for visual drama. Designers craft silhouettes that challenge convention. Insiders debate and decipher each appearance, and stylists push boundaries in pursuit of cultural relevance. In this environment, a wardrobe malfunction can be catastrophic for a lesser-prepared star. But for someone like Ratajkowski, who has grown up in the limelight, understands the visual language of fashion, and embraces its inherent drama, such a moment becomes a chance to demonstrate control and elegance. Social media and the modern fashion narrative. In the digital age, fashion moments do not live solely in magazines or on television. They circulate instantly on Instagram, TikTok, and X, where millions of users digest, discuss, remix, and react in real time. Ratajkowski's Fashion Week presence, from her red carpet looks to candid posts, ensures that every outfit is part of a larger cultural dialogue. Her ability to handle unplanned events with confidence may be as significant as the clothes themselves. This dynamic has pushed modern style icons into roles that are part model, part performance artist, and part cultural influencer. A misstep isn't merely a moment of vulnerability, it's a chance to show resilience and personality. Ratajkowski's response illustrated that reality vividly under the Paris skyline. Fashion Week appearances beyond Dior. Ratajkowski's Fashion Week narrative did not end with Dior. At the Correggio's Fall/Winter 2026 show the next day, she appeared in a daring bodysuit that dramatically embraced the cutout trend, a piece so revealing that it functioned almost as architectural fashion, with negative space as a defining element. The bodysuit featured a square neckline and thong-style front, leaving much of her back and sides exposed, balanced with a low-rise midi skirt and themed accessories. This contrast, from a structured yet risky silk wrap top one day to a cutting-edge bodysuit the next, highlights her versatility in embracing both fashion's avant-garde and its most provocative trends. What this moment means for fashion culture. Emily Ratajkowski's wardrobe malfunction at Paris Fashion Week may have been a brief fashion blip in terms of seconds, but in significance, it became a moment that captured global attention for what it wasn't: embarrassment, panic, or retreat. Instead, it demonstrated confidence, adaptability, and a settled comfort with that unpredictable edge of fashion that separates runway fantasy from reality. Fashion Week, after all, is not just about clothes. It's about confidence, about narrative, and about moments that remind the world that style is lived as much as it is worn. For Ratajkowski, whose career continues to intertwine modeling, media presence, and cultural influence, this was not merely a wardrobe malfunction. It was a reaffirmation of her position as a fashion force capable of turning a potential misstep into a defining statement.